Previously on the Nigerian wedding
Weddings were
story.
so much simpler. They were much more of a family occasion.
Well, 1992 when we started was basic.
Before it got to us, our own generation.
A wedding MC back in the days was a proper guy.
I will go to them and I told them that my mother sells soft drinks. Can I bring to you?
In the hair industry, there were just a handful of people.
So I am part of the people that actually smashed it, as in.
I took it with both hands. I seized that opportunity.
I didn't even imagine. I couldn't even fathom what the industry has become now.
At some point in time, we also felt like we wanted more, we deserved more.
You know, our local white garment church, Eli, you are.
In Nigeria, marriage isn't between two people. It's between two families, two cultures, two villages, and at least one committee of aunties with very strong opinions. You're not just marrying Chioma or Adewale, you're marrying her entire lineage back to the great-grandfather who wrestled a lion and his entire ancestry of chiefs. And they expect front row seats and full buffet access.
Traditional marriage, of course, it was Yoruba traditional marriage before now, but it has gone beyond a Yoruba thing. It has even gone beyond an African thing. Now you have inter-ethnic marriage where you have Yoruba marrying Igbo, or better still, maybe Ibibio coming to Yoruba land to get married to her daughters. And I think it's bringing a sort of unity that I love so much.
Igbos are known to go all the way back home to do anything traditional, whether funeral, weddings. We're very traditional people, so we will go all the way back to our villages to get it done.
The typical northern wedding is filled with culture and beauty. It depends on the preference, the status, or maybe royal background. Like a typical royal wedding goes for 8 days, 7 days, depends, because we have the BD, we have the ENA, we have the Awangwenchi, we have the Kamu, we have the dinner from the bride side, dinner from the groom side, we have the Yinibiki, we have the Ke Amaria. So it depends on your preference.
This is the beautiful energy of the Nigerian wedding, where love is the beginning of a very long negotiation.
We started with the wives. We call them Yawili. Any wife that is outspoken, we always represent the family. There wasn't a banter between two people. It wasn't a matter of Alaga Gro or Alaga Ichoko. It was an Alaga, usually from the bride's family. When the groom's family arrives, somebody to say you are welcome, please come in, why are you here, and all that, and coordinate the program.
Everything that would happen at an Igbo traditional wedding, which is from this, so usually, okay, so you start with the knocking on the door, the introduction, which had been done. You know, the groom's family, a few of them would go to the bride's family, indicate their interest that, they would like to introduce themselves, and they've sent something in their house that they're, and yeah, so there's just an exchange that goes on, the families knowing each other. And then they give them another date to come back for what we call the Ikwaka, and which is also the same day that the dowry is paid. And that's the traditional wedding day, literally.
But the major weddings we do have in the north don't exceed 4 days. In these 4 days, a bride is expected to do her henna, which is the first day of the wedding, preparation of the wedding. The bride has to make her hennas, that is the henna for the hands, and celebrate it with other young maidens like her, which are her friends. They celebrate and make that day the first part.
So back to how the Igbo traditional wedding takes place. We make it interesting. We like to get the bride, so we go a bit, we try to go out of the box a bit. So we get the bride to learn some of the dance steps just to entertain her guests.
Nigeria's over 250 ethnic groups each bring their own flavor to a marriage. And trust me, the differences are not subtle.
Now we even have a term, we call it Iyaoko and Iyaoyawo Nigeria Limited. Now, what is that company all about? It's when the mother of the bride and the mother of the groom, they want to wear the same thing. We've seen unity. We've seen a lot of, in the early days, they didn't really have to wear, the same thing. But now there's so much, there's a lot of diversion towards doing this for the sake of the children.
So, balancing performance and tradition. Making sure that people still have fun and, keep the tradition. This is where we now go back to the Oriki, the Orinlu, just to be sure that we're connecting with everybody. And if we have, then we have their family members as well. So we make sure that we, engage them in a fun and interesting way, but making sure that we're not carried away with, the fairy tale and entertainment. Marriage is very sacred. So we make sure that we balance the tradition part, sing the Orinlu hometown songs, give them their chant, and also, engage the audience.
Now we see fusion everywhere. And in that fusion, a new creative economy was born.
I discovered that I had eyes for beautiful space, decoration, and just decided to give it a shot. And not thinking about money initially, But by the time we put in our creative juice, somebody decided to pay us one big money like that. We're like, is this how this thing is? There's money in this thing, though. So, yes, that's the way it started.
I call myself the accidental caterer. When I started with Ofada rice. I'm from a village called Ofada. A lot of people don't know that. I'm from a village called Ofada, and that's why I'm a Ofada boy. And my great-grandfather was the first farmer of Ofada rice. So there's a lot of generic history when it comes to Ofada rice.
I usually celebrate my birthdays, I just call few people around to eat. And I do all the cooking myself, drinks, food, snacks. And everybody goes like, wow, Zena, did you invite a caterer? I'm like, no, I did everything myself, And the planning of the event, So people are like, you could do event management, you could be a caterer, I'm like, how can I be all those things, But alhamdulillah, today I'm an event planner, I'm a decorator, I'm a caterer, I'm a gift guru, I'm a plant lover, I'm a tea lover.
I think I was very lucky. I joined the industry at a very pivotal time. It was at a time where event planners were becoming a norm and not something out of the ordinary or strange. Speaking to someone about serving your drinks and trusting that they could do it properly had also just started to become a thing. So it was a very interesting time to start the business. You had to learn to do a lot of things in a new way, build client confidence, build relationships with partners and other vendors. There weren't a lot of people doing what we were doing then. I can speak to a few, Auntie Bonnex, Clinks, Cocktails In and Out was in Lagos then, she's now based in Abuja, are some of the people I can think about. And it was a very interesting time. There were just a few of us and each of us were very much in our own spaces, just trying to provide the best service that we could. Because that was always the goal. It was, how can I do what I do to the best of my ability?
At that time, there was nothing like grills or barbecue in the wedding industry. It was more of small chops, and everybody just graded everything as small chops. So I began the push to tell wedding planners that, look, you need to separate this Because sometimes I'll just get a call and someone will tell me, "Do you do small chops?" I say, "I don't do small chops. That I do only grills." And they'll ask me, "What is that? That's the chicken on top of the puff puff. Is it not grills?" I say, "No, that's not grills." There's a big difference. That small chops has to do with like spring roll, puff puff, and all that. This is a different sector. There's just so many items on that list.
Area started more like actually an hobby. I started my own wedding. That was 16 years ago. But at that time, I didn't know I was going to go fully into it. It was just a passion that I had for gift wrapping, and I really wanted to wrap my own, wedding gifts. So after then, your very first customers are usually your family members, and family members started reaching out to me. "Oh, you can help us do this. You can help us do this." And I just looked back and I was like, I can actually make a business out of this. And looking back to when I started out, basically the people that were doing this were just their laggers, and they were just doing something very minimal. So I looked at the industry and I'm like, there's nobody doing this, even though we had few people doing it, but not, the way I had pictured it. So I saw that, yes, I could make, a very good business and a big business out of this.
I got introduced to it in 2012 by accident because my friend just reached out to me to plan her wedding. After I had that experience, I was truly blown away. Why? Because I saw myself being in charge of a project, and I saw the end result directly, the impact it made in people's lives. People were happy, I was able to create memories, and at the end of the day, a lot of people came back to me and they were just so happy. It was after I did that, and then I will post it on my BlackBerry 500 times, that small events I did. And then someone now reached out to me that, "Oh, Bisola, you're a wedding planner, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am a wedding planner."
Wedding planners, designers, caterers, makeup artists, they all began to borrow, blend, and build.
So at the time that I started, I didn't know that the business that I started existed. You understand what I'm saying? So I just started like a novice, and I didn't know there was an industry. I didn't know there's a wedding industry or an event industry. I just wanted to do business at the time. And we started, and then it took us about 18 months to get the first business. And after the first business, we got another job on that event.
Okay, so the first wedding we actually did was my sister's wedding. And she was magnanimous enough to even pay us because we didn't have the equipment then. And I wanted to put my whole life, heart into it, just to make something significant out of it. And of course, it wasn't for the profit's sake, but it was out of passion to show people what, we can do. And that particular singular event, I think, gave us about 5 different weddings.
I kind of stumbled on it. I was laid off from my 9 to 5, and I was bored. I was looking for something to do, and we had this. I knew a lady that does events for the family. So, and I just took an interest. I was like, "Look, I can help you. You can do this better. You can do that." So that's how I got into it, just helping her to just be better. So that's how we stumbled on it.
At the point, I had a friend, Collar Smith from Michael Smith Events. He had reached out for me to do paper cards for him, paper invitations at the time. I was working with ID card printers, so for me it tied in, and I felt like it was something I could try. And that's where access cards started from. It's been a significant introduction into the wedding space because it's not something that anybody was doing at the time. I mean, this was 2016, new couple took the markets by storm. Everybody was doing PVC access cards at the time. They still are.
Our weddings became a spectacle of love and art. The decor, the fashion, the food, they became cultural exports.
In 2009, it was a Chapman. Everybody just wanted a Chapman. He used to come with these beer mugs with a slice of cucumber in it and the white and pink straw. That was it. So people like us that came with, a slimmer, less archaic-looking glass, they were like, no, my drink is not complete. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm thinking you don't need a mug full of Chapman, and also doing other things, offering a pina colada or a mojito. Like, no, I only want Chapman. So even being able to convince people to try new things and, having 6 options or 8 options, like, no, it's only Chapman I said I wanted. Man, don't worry, try. It's not just you. You want Chapman, but some of your guests might like to try a pina colada. Let's try something different. And over the years now, it's become a lot more fun now. I want a whiskey sour. I want a Negroni. It's become very sophisticated, and it's amazing to see.
Everybody knows that I'm big on everything big. I do big stages, big, centerpieces. In fact, when you see my decor, you will always know, especially if it's a wedding, it has to be big.
I want to believe that my company is probably the first company that started using bars for cocktails in Nigeria. I stand to be corrected, but I'm very proud of that. I actually remember the very first job I did with that bar. It was not even in Lagos. I think it was in Benin, if I remember correctly. So we started using bars, and from wooden constructed bars, we progressed to something that we got from South Africa. I still have a relationship with that person till today. He's my very good friend, and from there on, and then
it was something I used to do that was different. I was really interested in creating wow experiences. I was ready to do whatever it took at my event to make my event trend, to make my event stand out, to make my event, that small little wedding in Surulere, look like it was larger than life. So I literally invested my time, my money in ensuring that, I created jaw-dropping experiences at these events, which is what people now notice. Who is this lady? What is she doing? Then it was grand entrances. I used to do grand entrances where I would bring couples from under the ground, from the roof down through the screen. That had never been done. My event was the first wedding. Then after that, I did Banky W's wedding where we now did that. That was now when it now trends scattered.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Gonna be first. Represent to you, the Moreee and Blueprint, Innovating,
Bisola was known for creating jaw-dropping grand entrances, and I did not stop.
These are more than weddings. They are love letters to our heritage, proof that tradition can travel and culture can evolve without losing its soul.
For me, let me use myself as a case study. I had to learn how do they do it in the BBO land. When it comes to Benue, Benue, Igala, and all that, how do they do it in Hausa land? And beyond the shores of Africa, now we have interracial marriages. We have Chinese coming to Nigeria to get married. We have maybe, just name it, from the Western world. And the interesting thing now is that even when our own son is getting married to an American lady, the American lady wants our own traditional way of doing it.
If your classes is not recommended, take it off. Oh, you look so good.
And I think we are selling out our culture. People are coming to accept what we thought was nothing, and it's becoming a big deal. Positively, Nigeria, Yoruba land is being accepted because of that singular act. For an alaga, you have to be educated. That's number one. If you must anchor inter-ethnic marriage, definitely it's going to be about 80% English language to carry everybody along. Maybe a touch of Igbo language, dialect, a touch of Yoruba, And when it comes to interracial marriages, if they are from China, you learn a little of their language. If they are from France, to mention a few. But believe you me, it has gone beyond Yoruba thing.
From Lagos to London, Abuja to Atlanta, Nigerian weddings have become global ambassadors of who we are: colourful, proud, unapologetically joyful. In this story, love doesn't just cross boundaries, it erases them. Because in the end, when Nigerians celebrate love, there are no borders, only blessings. Next on the Nigerian wedding story.
It doesn't just employ the event planner or the photographer.
I won't speak about drinks yet. I'll speak about the entire thing.
I don't know about the money-making aspect of it. It's secretive.
We will take just a seed and then we plant it and explode. Wow.
Because when you come for wedding, you find people bringing in the masquerades, your festival, groups.
And so I thought there was a way we could scale that experience for a lot of people.
We've been able to train at least, I think I'm very sure of 150.
So I focus strictly on the business of weddings.
If the economy is doing well, a couple will be more inclined to splurge on their event. And if the economy is not doing well, you'll be seeing them saying, Omo, things are very tough, we cannot pay that much.
For the boy, there's champagne on every table. I say, you never say anything.